everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you to Let's Talk World Talk Show presented by Clickaway Creators. In conversation with us today, we have Mr. Rodrigo Nuñez Vega. A hearty welcome to you, Mr. Vega.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
I'm sure we're going to have a very interesting chat with our guest here. But before we begin a conversation with Mr. Vega, let me take a moment to introduce him to you. Mr. Rodrigo Nuñez Vega was born and raised in Mexico. He studied law at the National Autonomous University of Mexico. His professional life has been dedicated to corporate law, legal services, and for over 14 years now, he has been passionate about seeking ways to deliver legal services in the easiest and fastest ways. He started as a paralegal in 2006, and in his first job, he had to manage over more than 14 companies. During this time, he experienced the lack of control of information, and this obstacle that he encountered led him to develop in 2010 a software in the cloud to manage the life cycle of contracts, and also that also became a repository. In 2011, he launched a website of legal services called www.tucontrato.com, mainly for drafting, negotiation, and revision of all kinds of contracts to help small companies. Thank you so much for joining us, Rodrigo. We are very pleased to have you with us today. And I'm sure I've given a very brief profile summary about you, but I'm sure the viewers would love to hear from you more about your personal and professional journey so far. So over to you, Mr. Vega.
Okay, really thank you for this opportunity. Yes, these 14 years dedicated to corporate law has been really amazing because I'm a really passionate person about technology and how we can deliver things in the easiest and fastest way. So I have been all my time being as a lawyer, try to develop a software, try to develop, and I try to make all the marketing and all stuff of our websites, try to learn a lot of things about how to create all these ideas of the legal services delivering by a website. It's really complicated because usually the law firms, it's a traditional way to work. You go to an office, you are assigned to a lawyer who is working side by side, and well, the pricing it's really high for small companies. So I created this website of working with small companies that also need that information, all that assessment that they need to be really sure that they are going to have a good agreement with their counterparties and everyone. So it was really complicated because also small companies is like not really used to have a lawyer because it's like, oh, it's a small contract. Oh, it's a small opportunity for me. So I do not need to pay for an agreement. But well, later, a few months later, it's like, oh, they are not paying to me. So I need a contract or what, or they are asking, what can I do for this? So it's like, do you have a contract? No, I don't. Okay, there is a problem. So part of me in working into contractors was like creating a new form of the small companies to think about that the importance of having an agreement in each of their operations. It's really important. In my cases, I have companies that have like a lot of money, like investment in customers that they are not paying to them. So I created for them and all the templates, all the playbooks, all the way of analyzing all the information for the clients so they can they can decide if the customer is going to pay or not for them. So I created all this information so they can deliver easily to the credit people so they can decide if they can or not take this customer or if there is any risk for that. So it was a real good journey. During I got this website almost for 9 years. 9 years when I was like I did work with finance companies, marketing companies. Uh, I also work with baseball teams. It was a big opportunity because I have the chance to work with all kind of companies here in Mexico. So I have my expertise is like in every area. I can assure you that I develop almost like 600 different kind of contracts by myself. I also have a team like for 16 people in one moment in the company. So it was about myself, it was like I'm the one creating the new contracts, and they are just replicating the contracts, or maybe making some new easy contracts for them. But I developed almost 600 different kind of contracts, so it's really experience for me because, well, I have at this time I know almost of kind of business in that are playing in the world. So, yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
So
really amazing job.
it's so amazing and fascinating to listen to your journey, and you know what you could transform from your experience, understood the pain point of yours that the small companies were facing, and to try and integrate technology into all this and try to make a process that is seamless in this world for you. I'm sure it's a very fascinating journey that you have had, and I'm sure the viewers will find these kind of experiences that come from people, how you took a pain point and created something that is seamless, a process that is seamless for the companies out there in the legal world. That's extremely an interesting thing to learn about. Now,
Yes.
so your professional journey has definitely been vast and very diverse. As you said, you have worked in almost different spectrums over a range of, legal sectors that you have worked for. However, if I were to ask you for one instance from your life where you have been able to create a very powerful impact to any one client's life, with your expertise and knowledge, which one would that be? And I think the viewers will be extremely happy to hear about these kind of stories and straight from the person who has experienced it. So if you could pick up any one instance that you think has been that has made a powerful impact to your client, which one would that be?
Yeah. Yes, I think that the most impacting case for this for into Contrato.com, it was like a company that usually sell auto parts for small stores. They bring all the parts from China, and they want to deliver to all the small stores all the auto parts. So they have all these debts with those small companies, small stores. So with them is the one that when I reached them, they were like they have a debt about, like, I don't know, like 2 million pesos in Mexico. So we created a new all the playbooks, all the profiles, all the needs and the templates that they need to just to accomplish and see that the customers are going to pay. How is they're going to, if they are not paying, what are the measures that they're going to take apart from them, the next step, all the risk assessment. That's, I think, one of the most important issues, because we reduce the debt of the company with all their customers, while their vendors, like in 60 to 70% after we start working with them and they start using all this. It was really complicated because usually it was, oh, we need now to sign a contract. We usually don't do that. We need to ask for the vendor to send us all their documents, and we don't want to stop the people from selling. The people from sales is always like, oh, I want to sell to this one. Yes, but we need all these documents. We all need all this to sign this contract and this information in case they are not going to pay us in the future. We are prepared for that one. So we have a considerably high reduce on this one. So I think that's really important. Another important case that I have is in my own company. When a few years ago it was like, okay, there was Uber came to Mexico, and in Mexico it was like, okay, let's buy a lot of cars, and I will contract a lot of drivers to be on that one. So, but the relationship between the drivers and the owner of the car and everything, it was really complicated here in Mexico. So I developed a product that it was like a kind of a joint venture between the driver and the owner of the car and the owner of the car, so they can have a relationship where there was no labor relationship for them. So I deliver. So it was like almost 4 or 5 contracts, different documents on this package that I sell to the people, and that increases me the sales in the company, like I don't know, like 70 to 80% in the first months, like everywhere in Mexico and those all these companies. So it's important for the people to understand the market, to see an opportunity of something that is new for Mexico, for any country, the new laws or everything, and take it, so you can take it. And the early beginning, I don't know, in 2011, it was the data privacy. It was like a really big issue here in Mexico because it was new, and all the people is, oh, I need my all that data privacy documents and everything, and it was like, okay, I study a lot, I went to some to different events, and also develop a package of documents that it was okay, you can have all these documents and set all these privacy that you need to settle in your company. So it's always to seek the opportunity of the new laws. Understanding the customer is the other important things that it's really, really helpful. You mentioned it a few minutes ago, you need to know the customer, what it's painful for him. That's the most important things, and for that, it's not only to know the laws. You need to know a lot about the business. You need to know about how is the business side, the selling team. It's they have their own issues, the finances team have their own issues about, and all are connected through the legal side. So you need to connect with all these different parts so you can be a real corporate when you work with different companies. It's like you need to join and understand the needs that each of these different components are going to work in a settle of an agreement. So I think those
Yes.
are really, really interesting cases.
Yeah, some of these instances that you narrated, no matter how cliched it might sound, but definitely understanding your customer and understanding the fact that he's the key and making it seamless for him, whatever his pain points are, what are the kind of troubles that he's facing, and trying to integrate it, understanding all the different verticals and trying to bring it all together and provide a solution. I think that is a very positive impact that you are talking about. And these are the kind of stories, these are the kind of instances that makes everyone's the time and effort that you have invested into such a passionate project every bit worth it. So,
Yes.
always dedication and passion always yields rich results. And I'm sure, all those, if any of your clients are hearing you right now, they would definitely vouch for the kind of value that you have added and the service and the assistance that you have provided with them, at a time when they were particularly struggling. So, moving on, the world is rapidly changing. And how do you foresee the future of legal industry in a few years from now? What is the future of legal industry as from your perspective in a few years from now?
Yes, well, the digital transformation, it's really clear for me. I started with develop a software in 2010, then I have a website for delivering legal services. At the end of that business for me, I was starting to create a platform with artificial intelligence to develop contracts the most easiest way. So I need to keep out that business. And nowadays I'm working for UnitedLex. It's a world leader company with legal services and technology. He's like investing millions of dollars in technology. And now I'm working from the delivery side and analyzing, creating all these opportunities to the people. UnitedLex is always working with technology. That's our stand, our flag. Like it's like, okay, we need to use all the technology for the legal side because there is a lot of information from that you can use for a company from the legal side. And most of the people thinks, many big companies is like, okay, the legal side is like a expense for the company. And no, you can invest a lot in the legal side, and the legal side will provide you a lot of information that you don't know, and you can reduce the cost of all your agreements and problems you may have. So the technology and the use of technology is really helping all these people because we can measure everything. Metadata in the legal side is where we're is the place that we are going, and also artificial intelligence and everything to analyze and reduce the time of negotiating contracts, um, to see where the failures of the contracts are, to get all the laws in one contract and reducing the time of everything. So the future is digital transformation for sure, because well, that's the future since 2010. So now that the future is right here, because the evolution of all these technologies are really, really, really going too fast nowadays, because the people now it's seeing that the developing all these technologies from the legal side will also bring an income to the companies that they will really appreciate and understand better their business. So from the delivery side that I'm working right now, it's like, okay, we need also to keep understanding the needs of the companies. We need to establish playbooks, standard templates, everything, and all that information and put it on a probably on a platform from artificial intelligence, and they are going to bring us an easiest way to analyze their contracts, to reduce time, to reduce risk, and well, that's the future for the legal side, totally.
Absolutely. And I think you're one of those people who have understood the power of technology, the impact of technology early on, and you've tried to capitalize on it, and you've fully understood how it can, bring about a huge transformation in the way things work in the legal industry. So having understood it early on, I'm sure, that has, and you still believe that digital transformation is here to stay, and that's the way forward as well. So the earlier people realize it, embrace it, that's the way forward. Absolutely. Truly agree to that. Now, as a professional and more as a legal professional, your experiences are indeed rich and diverse. So if you were to look back and assess your professional life, what are those three core values that you would say that has helped you build your career and be such a successful person that you are here today, and which has helped you establish a place for yourself in this legal industry?
Yes, I think the most important, I think the first one is the commitment. You need to be commitment to your client, to understand your client, to see that the importance of your work, of their work, and their need to their business. So you need to be really committed to everything you said. If you say that you're going to deliver a contract and in any days, number of days, or you're going to deliver something especially for them that that is going to be really useful for their business, you need to do it. But on the side of understanding the people, you need to commit with the customer. Another part, it's really connected, it's a responsibility to be very responsible about this, because if you set an agreement, it's not okay, this is an agreement, you can send it a 3 pages agreement, but you can maybe miss a lot of things, and you're responsible of covering all the risk for that business. It doesn't matter if it's not your direct business, but you need to cover all the risk for your customers. So you're responsible of that part. So I always being committed to my customers. I always be responsible of my decisions. If I want to take a risk of covering this area or covering this risk for them, it's really important for them. And also, well, I think that the third one is probably like, well, I'm a lawyer, so the justice. No, you need to find a contract, and if you're going to negotiate a contract, you need to be really clear about, okay, it's not all black, it's not all white. You need to be on the gray part so you can negotiate. Negotiating is not like I put my foot down and say that, okay, we're going to do this because that's my playbook or that's my standard, I cannot move. No, you need to find the middle way from both sides. So that's part of the justice that you need from the corporate side. It's like really know how to negotiate with the people. And that's something that I really like for myself, because I'm always helping my team. Like, okay, I'm having problems with this clause or something like that, and it's like, okay, we cannot say that it's not because I cannot accept that. It's okay. Let's go to a middle way. Okay, if you say 15, you say 3. Okay, let's go to 5, 10. I don't know. So that's something that it's always in my thoughts. No, to give each part what it corresponds or what is fair for both sides. So I think those three values are the most important for my career, because it's also the thing that's give confidence to the customer, to my teammates, to everyone. So
Yeah, so commitment and responsibility to your clients and customers, I think that is very core, and that's so important to any business per se, and more so to your industry. And especially the third core value that you stretched upon about finding, not being too rigid, but finding a win-win situation for all. I think that is very important in the art of negotiation. And I think you have learned that very early on in life and imbibe that as one of those values that you would always stick by, to find the positive in everything for everybody so that everyone remains happy. I think that that is a very crucial, integral part of the art of negotiation. So,
Yes, it should be a win-win. Any business, it's a win-win. If one of the parts is losing something, that's not fair.
yeah.
So we need to part from a win-win negotiating standard.
Absolutely agree with you. And this has been such a delightful conversation with you, Rodrigo. And, it's been, we have been very lucky to have you with us on our talk show. Thank you very much for sharing your insights with us here today. And we definitely would look forward to having you over soon in the future to talk, give your insights, to share your experiences more about the trending topics in the international legal industry. So, for our viewers, if you like this chat with Rodrigo, please like and share this video and also subscribe to Clickaway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do. And please do look forward to more coming your way from the industry leaders. For now, this is Lekha from Let's Talk.